Magandang buhay po sa ating lahat. My name is Jamaila Abantao and I will be discussing to you my topic, which is the teaching in an online environment. Teaching in an online environment is in demand and a must to teachers today. Due to the pandemic, some educational institutions decides to embrace online learning to continue education. While some schools have modular learning, other schools who have the means and internet decide to use online learning. So before I start my discussion, let me read to you a quote from the great scientist Albert Einstein. And I quote, "We cannot solve our problems with the same thinking we used when we created them." At the end of the discussion, it is expected that we answer the following question. The first one is, what is online learning? What are the advantages of learning online? What are the advantages of teaching online? What are the challenges of teaching online? So this question, we will be going to answer this after the discussion. So what is online learning? The term online learning, or as it's sometimes called distance learning, includes a number of computer-assisted instruction and methods. Online teaching and learning is faculty-delivered instruction via internet. Online instruction includes real-time or the synchronous and anytime anywhere, which is the asynchronous interactions. So online learning is education that takes place over the internet. It is often referred to as e-learning among the other terms. However, online learning is just one type of distance learning. The umbrella term for any learning that takes place across distance and not in a traditional classroom. So when we speak of online learning, it involves internet. It involves using devices such as laptops and cell phones. So the two parallel processes take place in an online environment. So the first one, students become more active, reflective learners. So as we observe, students nowadays are very literate in using cell phones. And students and teachers engage in learning through the use of technology and become more familiar with technology by using it. So we are living in the 21st century. It is expected as a teacher that we know how to navigate and use the technology. And we can also take advantage of doing that. Okay, so the best way to maintain the connection between online education and the values of traditional education is through ensuring that online learning is delivered by teachers fully qualified and interested in teaching online in a web-based environment. So, to be able to come up with a very good online learning and teaching process, it is expected the teacher are fully qualified and know the know-how of the use of technology. So there are two approaches to online learning. The first one is the synchronous learning. It is instruction and collaboration in real time via internet. The example is the live chat, audio and video conferencing, data and application sharing, shared whiteboard, joint viewing, or multimedia and online slideshow. So synchronous learning is an instruction that teachers and learners do using real time. For example, Zoom, Google Meet, and live video chatting at Messenger. So there are advantage of using the synchronous learning. Number one, students can ask questions in real time. So if they are confused on some of the topics, they can ask question and the teacher will going to answer it directly. Students feel a greater sense of community and connection to their peers when they all learn together. Students become more engaged in the learning. Students feel a stronger sense of collaboration. So there are some disadvantages of using the synchronous learning. Number one, both the student and the teachers have to adhere to time schedules. Much of the training depends on the quality of instructor. So as a teacher, uh, we must know how to navigate and use the online platform. Students may not receive individual attention, so other students are also in need. The learning piece is set by the instructor, not the students. So let's proceed to the next approach to online learning, which is the asynchronous learning. It is a method used time-delayed capabilities or the internet. For example, email, threaded discussion, news group, or exam file attachment. So this asynchronous learning also use internet, but it is time delay. So a student can answer the question or the activities later, not the real time. So I will cite here 8 advantages of the asynchronous learning. So the first one, it provides more flexibility to learners, allowing your learners to study at their own speed and make the dealing with busy schedule easier. Number two, it can easily scale. Number three, it is often more cost effective. Next, offer learners complete control over their learning. Respectful to one's own learning pace, and it's very convenient. Less social obstacles because some of the learners are very shy. They don't want to see or make connection with their classmates. So this is very helpful. Interactive regardless of location and time barrier. So example of this is email or the Google Classroom, because here the Google Classroom, some student will pass their assignment online using the internet later. And another example is the Canvas, the one that we are using in our subject. So here are the advantages of learning online. Student-centered learning. The variety of online tools draw an individual learning styles and help students to become more versatile learning because they can search the internet about the topic in that case. They will gain more knowledge about a certain subject or topic. Online group works allow students to become more active participants in the learning process. Contributing input requires that students comprehend what is being discussed, organize their thinking coherently, and express that thinking with carefully constructed language. Here are the advantages of online education. Easy access to global resources, yes, because if the pupils or the student have some certain project or assignment, they can easily Google it and the answer is there. And some other websites. Experiential learning through multimedia presentation, yes. Students and pupils can gain a variety technological skills because they are exposed to different technological advancement, and they can also make multimedia presentations. Accessible for non-traditional students. More and more students are interested in online learning, yes, because aside from they are staying at home, they learn a lot of know-how about the technology and they can use it as they grow older and come up with a work. So these are the advantage of online teaching. Online teaching can allow you to experiment with techniques only available in online environments such as threaded discussion and bibliographies. As a teacher, it is expected that we know how to manipulate and navigate the technology, and it is also expected that we allow ourselves to know the some techniques that is available online. Provide ideas and techniques to implement in traditional courses. So, for example, if we are a traditional teacher, today online education and teaching is rampant, so we can know or we can search to the internet about some certain skills that we need to know in order to take advantage of the online teaching. So here are the challenges of teaching online. Familiarity with the online environment. Yes. Capacity to use the medium to its advantage. Some teachers they didn't want to use online teaching because they don't know how to use laptops, didn't know how to use cell phones. But as a teacher, we must always open to some innovation. And as a teacher, we should embrace the use of technology. Being available to students on an extended basis electronically, providing quick responses and feedbacks to students, most especially if we are teaching in a far-flung area where there are no internet. So this type of education is not really applicable. And for us here in the Department of Education, some schools who have no access to internet, they resort to modular distance learning. So overcoming the difficulty, become familiar with the technology used in your online course. Yes, as a teacher, it is our responsibility to know how to teach our students well and use the online medium to your advantage. Keep connected with your students. To be able to know the ability of your student, we must stay connected to our students. Before I end my topic, let me read to you a quotation from the creator of Microsoft, Bill Gates, and I quote, "Technology is just a tool. In terms of getting the kids working together and motivating them, the teacher is the most important." Today, in this world of technology, as a teacher, we must embrace and adapt and use technology to our advantage. Thank you for listening and God bless.